There is something truly refreshing about seeing a TV series or a film where your expectations are being fully met. Recently, like myself, you might have been served a number of productions that end up being utterly disappointing. They were remade for new audiences, and now all you can do is to fall asleep as you're watching them. But this is really not the case with Wednesday, a recently released TV show made for Netflix. I should probably mention that Wednesday is being heavily marketed as Tim Burton's project, but really he didn't write any scripts for the show and he only directed 4 out of 8 episodes. Instead, heavily involved in this show were Millar and Alfred, the executive producers of Smallville. Together they wrote half of the episodes. But Wednesday does retain a key feature of Burton's work, which in this case is rather valuable. You just know that when you are about to see a film by Burton, you will be exposed in one way or another to a theme of being an outcast, of being socially unusual, and of being spooky and weird.
When people consider you to be a certain thing, it's sad in a way because it's like they're not seeing you for who you are. On the other side, you have open opportunities to hang from the ceiling or, dress however you want.
And indeed, all of these elements are present in Wednesday, where you find the main character who's an outcast among outcasts.
The whole snarky goth girl thing might have worked at normie school, but here things are different.
The story is set in a weird, slightly spooky environment of Nevermore Academy.
Nevermore is like no other boarding school.
And of course, there is a monster in the woods killing people. The best thing about Wednesday is that you can understand exactly what you're getting into by simply watching the trailer. It is an honest representation of the entire show. There is no attempt to misrepresent the production, and it's also not a remake for a new audience in any significant way. You are served a deadpan sense of humor, sarcastic narration, and cartoonish characters. And that's what you're signing up when you're beginning to watch.
Which leads me to believe I've been losing my mind. It's not nearly as fun as I had anticipated.
The characters are spooky. There is a weird atmosphere and there are exaggerated visuals. On one hand, the plot is kind of filled with cliches. The entire story is set in Nevermore Academy, a high school for outcasts. Wednesday is being shipped off to the academy, and the school was previously attended by her parents.
This was my parents' idea. Oh look, there's my mother smirking at me. They've been looking for any excuse to send me here. It's all a part of their nefarious yet completely obvious plan.
What plan?
To turn me into a version of themselves.
Nevermore is home to werewolves, sirens, gorgons, and all kinds of bizarre creatures.
There are many flavors of outcasts here, but the 4 main cliques are fangs, furs, stoners, and scales.
In this school, Wednesday's roommate is Enid, and she happens to be a complete antithesis of Wednesday.
Howdy, roomie. I'm so glad you decided to stay.
Enid is colorful, she is happy, she is an optimist, and she is also a werewolf.
Yes, I got Pilgrim Robe. I do have natural people skills and a love of performing, so it's kind of the obvious choice. What'd you get?
Soon, Wednesday and Enid begin tumultuous friendship with ups and downs. Nevermore is situated in Jericho, a town that is experiencing an unusual problem with gruesome deaths. There are rumors about a beast roaming free in the woods, and soon a police investigation begins by a local sheriff.
That's the claw of the monster, and that's a dried blood sample from a potential suspect.
When one of the students at Nevermore, Rowan, disappears, the police become interested in Wednesday, who soon becomes the very center of this mystery.
There are so many threads to my investigation, I could weave a burial shroud. I still have no idea how Rowan mysteriously rose from the dead, or why that monster is prowling the woods. But right now, nothing intrigues me more than this book.
As she tries to understand who is behind the murders, she discovers a lot of family secrets, she redefines her relationship with her mother, and she very reluctantly makes some new friends and even almost falls in love.
So tell us everything.
Since you've abandoned me here, I've been hunted, haunted, and the target of an attempted murder.
Ah, Nevermore, I love you so.
The main criticism made against Wednesday is that the supernatural murder mystery is vaguely engaging at best, and that the comedy lines are very limited and not sufficient to save this show. Wednesday has also been criticized for being overly conventional, predictable, and for not being as weird as other Burton's productions. Moreover, it has been pointed out that Wednesday lacks the morbid goofiness of Addams Family, which some apparently have found very disappointing. It's been criticized for being soapy, melodramatic fish out of the water cliche, and for not having a genuine understanding of Wednesday's character. It has at some point been compared to Riverdale, which is blamed on the involvement of Alfred Gough and Miles Millar. Now, on one hand, it is difficult to disagree. There is a lot of silly teenage drama in this show, and I agree the murder mystery is utterly predictable. However, given that this is a production aimed at audiences 12 and above rather than 30 and above, I think these two aspects are very, very forgivable. The strength of Wednesday lies in the fact that you know what you're getting. You want deadpan humor? It's present.
Are you and your mother close?
Like 2 inmates sentenced to life on the same cell block.
Do you want something to watch with your friends and family, something that most people will enjoy? Go watch Wednesday. Are you feeling nostalgic about your childhood and want to bring some fun memories? Wednesday delivers on all of these wishes and more.